So anyway, you got Dominicans who own this place with a freaking dead body, blood, brain matter all over their walls, their floors, and everything. They're freaking out, and they're like, "What are we going to do here? What are we going to do?" And Bruno's like, "Don't worry about it, son. We'll just call up a cleaning company." And he called everybody's son. And the guy's like, "Are you crazy? We're going to call a cleaning company up for a dead body? What are you talking about?" He goes, "Don't worry about nothing, son. They see this stuff all the time." So the Dominicans are like, "They do?" Like just shocked, like this guy's lost his mind. But there's a little backtrack people to know about this. This is another untold secret of the Gambino family back then that I don't think is out anywhere. Bruno was not speaking all that crazy when he says they see this all the time. And let me explain to you why. Roy DeMeo's crew had a separate entity besides the people that are out there, like Mikey Rosenberg and these other maniacs. They would just cut up bodies and dispose of them. He had another body disposal crew that also ran a legitimate cleaning business, carpet cleaning and everything. Now, what Tommy was told is that these guys, under no circumstances, were ever to fraternize or talk to any made guys. And apparently, a couple of the guys that ran this crew were actually made. If they were in a bar or whatever hanging out and made guys came in, neither one of them would ever recognize each other's presence for the fact that they didn't want, feds or rats or anybody to figure this out. Nobody really knew this, but they had this crew that was available, definitely available to the Gambino and Colombo families. And I believe it was also available to the Bonanos, that they could get a call at any time. And if a guy's used secret code words on the phone, they would know right away, and they have to come and they're going to be disposing of a body and stuff like that. In the book, you see about this. It's all detailed in the book, what Bruno told him on the payphone when he told them to call up. So Bruno wasn't speaking that insane when he told them they see this all the time. Just the Dominicans thought they were talking about a regular cleaning company. Bruno was talking about Roy DeMeo's insane, twisted, murdering cleaning company. So anyway, Bruno, again, from what Tommy said, was acting like nothing was wrong. Goes back upstairs to get cleaned up, and his main concern then was getting beer, not even worrying about the body. Now, he gave those guys money because there was a reward offered on the street by the Gambino family and others, I believe, for any information to anybody that found out who did this horrible desecration to the nun. They wanted him alive or dead or any which way they can get him, but whoever gave the information would get the reward. Now, the Dominicans were scared. They didn't want to take the money, but Bruno made them take the money. Anyway, the other thing that Tommy was shocked about was that when Bruno got the beer and the Dominicans said, "Well, you gave us so much money for everything else," is how I was told it went down. They wouldn't take any money for the beer. And then Bruno just happily yelled, "How about that, son? I told you it's the cheapest place in town to get beer." And Tommy's thinking, what kind of a psychopath is here? What kind of a freaking maniac am I with? And then Bruno's next concern was telling Tommy he's moving too slow, that he's holding him up to get back to the card game. And Tommy, told us, he's like, in my mind, this guy just killed somebody. And his main concern is, getting the beer and getting back to the card game right away. Tommy's like, this is sick. Anyway, the other point to think about this was DeMeo's cleaning company apparently did come to the place, cleaned it up perfectly. Now, when Tommy got back, this is very important. When Tommy got back to John's Bergen Club on 101st Avenue in Ozone Park, Queens, the gang was waiting for them because the Dominicans had also made some payphone calls of their own, and they told people that, hey, this guy just freaking shot the guy in our basement of our store. Now, a connection that people might not know, and again, it's all explained in the book, is the Dominicans at this particular bodega, convenience store, they knew and were wired in with the Gambino family. Why? Because the Gambino family put the slot machines inside of their place and also ran the numbers racket out of there. They were one of probably 15,000 locations, in the 5 boroughs that had, either numbers rackets or slot machines by any of the 5 families, not just the Gambino family. But these guys were with the Gambino family, and that's how these guys got the tip that, hey, this guy tried to fence the stolen jewelry. We know it was the nuns. We have the guy. So that's how the whole connection came to begin with. So they had sent word back, this maniac just killed the guy in the basement. So John and Uncle Tom, who's portrayed in the book that way, and other people were out there. And on the way back, before they got to the club, Tommy's like still furious in his head. How the hell could my uncle and John Gotti have approved me to go on this thing? I'm a freaking teenage kid. I didn't want to see this. It'd blow the guy's brains out right in front of me.